Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and well, let's call this episode 2 of A Man Goes to a Fishing Flea Market. Kind of an opening of a joke. And this is episode 2. This is another find and a little bit about the flea market experience that I had. And well, maybe we're going to be able to give you some hints and techniques about watching out for bargains at flea markets, and well, some of the things that you can find, some of the unusual stuff that shows up. Well, I had a pleasure of 2 weeks ago running into a fellow named Chris from Griever Custom Fishing, Just Ugly Enough to Fish. He's down in southern New Jersey. He's near the Delaware Bay. He's a channel viewer, and he was a vendor at the flea market that I was at about 2 weeks ago. And Chris and I had a wonderful conversation about some of the wares that he brought. He's an accomplished woodworker. He does custom plugs. And well, the plugs that he made were just beautiful. They were, a lot of them were kind of military themed. And well, just wonderful examples of fine woodworking combined with making fishing lures, and just a nice job all around. Well, Chris had on his table those plugs. And because he's a woodworker, he also had some other things, some rod stands and the like, and a few pieces of fishing gear. And well, I decided to buy one piece. He had some damn quick reels there. One that caught my eye was an older version, but unfortunately the condition, it had a broken reel foot and it wasn't operable. It just kind of led me away from that. But I did purchase a mold from him. And well, I'm just kind of I guess a sucker for jig molds. This is a jig mold that I will use, and I will make. I think they're probably 1 ounce jigs, and well, I gotta find the right hooks for those. Shouldn't be too hard, but during the off season, I do like to tie some bucktails on for the spring. And this will give me another pattern. As I mentioned, I'm kind of a sucker for these things, but I have one here, for example, the shad dart kind of a piece. And on these, they usually tell you what it is, hook-wise. Yeah, 2-0 hooks, but the other one doesn't tell me. So this is a herder's mold, and it's made out of Minnesota. It's the model 1GA. I'll look that up and see, maybe they'll recommend what hooks to use on this. I'm probably thinking 3 or 4-0 hook. And when you pour the lead on these, you want to do a couple of things. One, you'd like to pour it in a very well ventilated area, preferably outside. And you want to make sure that the mold is warm so that you don't get partial jig heads. You get the full jig head to it. But I like to do it outside, and I use a conventional melting pot for that. Well, before we go any further, if you like these types of videos, if you want to see more, if you like to learn about fishing reels and some of the associated tackle and the like, then I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe to my channel, please use the notification button. That'll let you know when I'm posting videos, and well, you can make a determination as to whether you'd like to see that or not. Well, I did mention that I ran into Chris. He wasn't the only viewer there. I also ran into 17 Command Rods and Reels. They're out of Philadelphia, also a channel viewer. And I'm always amazed when I do these shows just how many people actually see these videos in my local area. And of course, I was out on Long Island the other day and ran into Andrew and some other folks that watch these as well. So thank you to all for coming by and saying hello. And I'm still not getting used to taking selfies because I'm quote-unquote famous. That's an idea that's foreign to me, but I don't mind taking selfies. And if you see me at a show, sure, let's go do a selfie for your benefit. Okay, well, the idea behind this jig was the inspiration for episode 2, the jig mold. And I just thought I'd show you 2 of the more unusual purchases I made at flea markets, well, just because they happened, and one of them is associated with that. About a year ago, maybe 2 years now, I bought this box. It was at a flea market. It was towards the end of the flea market selling day, and a fellow came by and said, "I've got this box. I sold a jig mold. Well, he sold a mold. I believe it was a sinker mold. But he sold a mold. The fellow took the mold and said, just hold the box for me. I'll be back. He never came back. So the fellow asked me if I was interested in it. And for some reason I said yes, probably because I liked the box. And it's just filled with a whole bunch of the eyelets, various sizes, that go inside sinkers. Now you can find various molds out there. Some of them would be the triangle or the pyramid sinker. Some of them are the round ball sinkers and the like. Well, instead of where you would put the hook in your jig mold on like a ball sinker, for example, you're going to find a little eyelet there, and that's where this is going to rest. This is probably a bad example of using it on this one, but it'll rest in that eyelet there, kind of like that for the ball sinker, and then a lead will encase that, and that'll hold that loop in on the pyramid sinker or the ball sinker. Well, I don't know why I bought it. I've never used them. I don't have the mold to accommodate them, but things like that happen. And I just opened up the box because I was thinking about it, and I noticed that there are some hooks in here, so maybe I should go back in there and maybe use those hooks to replace some of the worn ones on my jigs. Well, that's not the only odd one. Not that they're odd at all, but it's you're coming back from the flea market and you say, why did I ever buy that? And sometimes you get good answers. Well, here's the other one. I purchased this one about 4 or 5 years ago now. I also did this one at the end of a show. I was approached by a vendor who says, I have these. I don't use them. If you're interested in them, make me an offer. And, well, I made him an offer. It wasn't a very high offer. But this is a repair box filled with Shimano quick-fire handles. So I just have a whole host of these brand new quick-fire handles. They come with the kind of the oblong, and they come with the little paddle type, depending on what the models are. These are usually like the Shimano 1000s or 2000s. They came with, well, packages of these screws that are going to attach the handles to the other side of the main gear. And well, at the time, I probably have used about 15 of these, so I can't say that I lost any money on it. I've certainly made money on what the offer was. Probably made money with just what the box is valued at. But I also wound up with these. There's a whole host of the Quickfire lever arms for the Quickfire 2. Now these are the ones when you go to cast, you're pulling that down and it's tripping the bail. And yeah, they do break from time to time. But probably have a lifetime supply of these and then some. So if anybody needs a Quickfire 2 rapid release handle, let me know. I've got plenty of them. And again, there's a couple of more handles on this side as well. So when you're searching these flea markets, one of the suggestions that comes out of this for episode 2 is go to the flea market. Well, if you want bargains, go early in the day, because there may be things that are just one of a kind or unusual or in demand that folks will get and you'll lose out on because you weren't there. But also go towards the end of the day, because that's when bargains will be had. And I'm going to cover that on the next episode, some of the table clearing bargains that I found at this most recent flea market. But a lot of times vendors are just coming for one event. They don't necessarily want to bring the stuff back with them, and they're willing to deal at the end of the show if the items haven't been sold. So whether you're looking for accessories like the jig mold, or you're looking for pieces and parts, or you're looking for fishing reels to become tuition reels, or if you're just looking for a fishing reel to use, don't forget to go at the end of the day. Sometimes that's where the bargains will be had. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, please like it. If you want to see more, again, please subscribe. And I do appreciate everybody who stops by and says hello when I do these markets. I don't do many of them, but I do appreciate meeting you. So don't be shy or timid or anything. And come on by, say hello. To our first responders and essential personnel, thank you for all it is that you do to keep us safe. Truly do appreciate your efforts. To everyone, please stay safe, stay well, stay watching. Enjoy the the garage sales, the yard sales, the fishermen's flea markets, and the like. And have a great day.